Hello, everyone. I hope that you are having a wonderful summer and enjoying some time with your family and friends. Just wanted to come to you really quickly and let you know that we all probably have a lot of questions about what next year is going to look like. And it's hard to think that we just ended the year and we're already talking about next year, but this is kind of where we are at this time. We've had some meetings, some principal meetings. We met one day last week, we met again today, and I just kind of wanted to be transparent with you guys and let you know about some of the conversations that we've had and some of the planning that we've talked about in going into next year. The first thing that I want you to hear is this is not meant to alarm anyone, but really just an opportunity for you to hear and kind of start thinking about what next year could possibly look like. So I know for me, it takes me a little bit to get my mind wrapped around things, let me process it. And then, okay, I'll be good, and then we can talk about it. So there may be some things in here that upset you, make you mad, make you want to cry, and it's okay. Like, it's okay to have those emotions. The next thing that we need to do is that we need to come together and find solutions to some of the situations that we may find ourselves in. Again, none of this is set in stone, and we don't really know 100% sure what it's going to look like. We do know that the commissioner is going to give the superintendent some guidance on Thursday, and honestly, they could say something on Thursday and he could have new guidance for us in July. So we're really just trying to be flexible and we're really just trying to build this plane as we fly it. And so I really know that you guys are going to come together and really have some wonderful ideas that we can hopefully put into place to help for this next school year. One of the discussions that we have had is about the continuum of services. And so, I really hope the commissioner comes on Thursday and says, face to face, that's what we're doing. And then I hope again he says it again in August, face to face, that's what we're doing. Everything's normal. While that is ideal, it's probably unlikely. The next continuum of services that we've talked about is kind of a hybrid model. So there would be some face-to-face learning and some learning that's done remotely. So what that looks like exactly, I don't know, but it's just a conversation that we've had. There could also be sometimes that we have to do a short-term closure. So let's say that a second grade student comes down with a coronavirus and they do a tracer and it comes back that student has exposed every student in the classroom. It is possible that they could tell us that every kid in the classroom and the teacher has to be quarantined for 14 days. And so if that is what happens, then we need to be prepared to go ahead and transition into some online learning for those kiddos. The next piece of the continuum of services could be 100% remote. Honestly, we may have families who had a very positive experience doing their online learning, and maybe they say rather than coming back to school, that's what we want to do. And so Pampa ISD is looking at ways to make that happen for those families who that might be the best solution for their family. So where are our priorities? Well, first and foremost, I think for staff and for our students is going to be social, emotional, and the mental health. When we think about our students and how we ended the year, and I know it was hard on all of you as well, those kids are coming back to us, and we don't know all of the lives, we don't know all of the home lives that they've been in over the summer, but there could be some trauma just to how things ended the school year. And so that is our number one priority, is their social, emotional, and mental health. Obviously, safety and health procedures will be next, and so there will be a lot of talk and planning on what those look like, and so we want you in on those discussions when that starts happening. The next thing would be regression. We're going to know that our kids are going to have regressed, just the normal summer regression, but then on top of that you put the time that they didn't come back after spring break. So that is going to be a high priority, and a lot of planning will go into that. The next thing is the classroom setup consideration, and again, this is nothing that I know that's 100% sure. This is just conversations that have happened from the state level down to the district level, and I just want you to be in on knowing what we have discussed. And so honestly, classroom setup could look very drastic. We know that if we are in a face-to-face model, it's not the number of kids in the rooms. The face-to-face model is based on the square footage of how many kids can be in the room. And so there will be more guidance on that. One of the first things that'll look different in your classroom is that we will be using the classroom sinks for hand washing. We do know that they have come out and said that students would need to be supervised washing their hands at least twice a day, and we've decided across the elementary level that happening in the classroom sinks is what we will be doing. And so there will have to be an area cleared around that sink to make sure that happens. Heath and his crew is making sure that all of our sinks work in our building, so we'll be able to use them. The next thing is when you think about a minimalist classroom. So again, I just want to reiterate, I don't know this is how it's going to be. I just know that there's been some discussions around this. So think about pillows, rugs, extra stuff that you have in your room. It's really just stuff that will have to be cleaned very thoroughly, routinely, but also if a kid ends up coming down with COVID in your classroom. So we know that there will be some guidance on this. We just don't know 100% sure what it will be. So just as you begin to get your room together, I want to tell y'all, elementary people are wonderful. Y'all, I think y'all need more of a break, and I encourage y'all oftentimes to just stay home in the summer and enjoy some summertime, but I know a lot of you are eager to get back in your classroom and get things set up. So as you're setting things up, just know that there could be some guidance comes out that says, you know, no pillows, no rugs. So just be thinking about that as you set up your classroom. The other thing that has been discussed and there's been some talk about is the rotations. This is especially for 3rd through 5th grade. What does that look like? Are we going to need to rotate teachers instead of students rotating classrooms? Because you know everything that they've touched has to be cleaned, and so I don't have the answers. We'll be talking about that, planning for that, and then I'm sure we'll be given some guidance as well. Cleaning rooms, we'll be teaching our kids how to clean their spaces, and then throughout the day, teachers and students will be, you know, cleaning in the classroom, some to make sure that we're not passing very many germs around. Okay, so what about lunch, entering the building, exiting the building? I know for sure that there's been guidance at the state level that like assemblies, which means our morning assembly, field trips, we know for sure that those things at this point they have said will not be happening. So when we think about entering the building, our kids that are coming in, where will they go? Well, the only really thing I can think of, and we'll talk about this and plan for this, but they'll be coming in and they'll be going straight to their classrooms. And so typically we've only used one entrance, and so we talked today, I mean, is that the best thing? Do we open some other doors? Do we open down by kindergarten and let kids come through there? Do we open Beach Street and let kids come through there? So I don't know. Those are some things that we'll have to talk about and plan for. Lunch. There's been discussions, is it in the classroom or is it in the cafeteria? And, you know, kids sitting a good distance apart and the cleaning in between. So I don't know, but again, those are some things that we'll talk about and plan for. And so what does a duty-free lunch look like in the case that lunch is in the classroom? Again, I don't really have answers for you, but it is something that we'll be discussing and thinking about if that's the direction that we go. I do know that entering and exiting the building, definitely in the afternoon, we always have all hands on deck. And so I anticipate in the morning we're going to have a lot more hands on deck to helping with drop off, just because of the number of kids that we'll have that have to go to classrooms rather than into the gym. So again, we'll be looking to you for some suggestions and ideas as we work through that. Also, we've added 15 minutes to the day across the district. In elementary, we haven't landed on where those 15 minutes will be, but as soon as we have that information, we will share that with you. Okay, there's also a little change in our technology. We'll be going one-to-one with our devices. So it's possible that students could even have to take these devices with them to Encore for their computer time. So just sharing that with you just as a piece of information that you have. Student password protocol has been changed. There was some data corruption with like 5 students somewhere in the district that now that someone knows like how our passwords are set up, that those have to be changed across the district. So just FYI. Okay, this is just a very little snippet of information about next year, and you may still have questions. You know what? I have lots of them. And so if you have questions, please ask. If you have ideas, please share them. Would be happy to answer any questions or listen to any ideas or suggestions that you have. The last thing that I want to say, and it is one thing that is for certain in all of this, is when we wrote our vision statement last year, we had no idea where we would be this year. And so as I read our vision statement, I'm honored to be sitting here working alongside of all of you as the principal, as you embraced the online learning that we did in the spring. I have no doubt that all of us together are going to come up with a solution this year, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to have, it may be different and it may be a struggle, but I think and truly believe that we'll have an amazing year. And I want you to know, as Austin Lions, we will learn and grow together to meet high expectations and succeed in a changing world. And what a changing world we're living in. You guys are awesome. You're amazing. I want you to know that you matter and that you belong here. I'm so proud of each of you, and I look forward to growing alongside of you this year, as this will be a year like none other that we've ever experienced. But if you have questions, please reach out. I know it didn't answer questions for you, but I hope that I was transparent with you so you know where our conversations have been. And as soon as I know more information, I'm more than happy to share with you guys. I love you all, miss you all, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer.